All right, guys. Good evening. Happy Sunday. All right, guys. So today we are taking a look at the weekly analysis, top-down analysis. So today I'll be handling GBPUSD and XAUUSD. So first, let's take care of the elephants in the room, okay? Which is XAUUSD. So if we can see from gold, we have a buy situation here, and we'll be taking a look at the weekly time frame too, but we have to go down to the 4 hours. If you know my strategy, this is the high end of the week, hand of the weekly candle. So this is the previous week. So I'm expecting gold to retrace down to this psychological level, and then I'm expecting it to buy and to continue the bullish movement. But uh, let's keep an open mind because uh, gold can sell, because last week we had a sharp downtrend before it started buying. Okay, so we had a quick sell. If you take a look at the weekly candle, we had a sell before it started buying. Okay, so this has closed as a bullish candle, but we're not going to respect it because price has reacted to this area before. So what I'm expecting is to drop and then for it to continue the buy movement, but we might have a sell first, sell to either this low or to this psychological level, or we get to this level here, 24000. Okay, so let me head out to GBPUSD quickly. Okay, so GBPUSD, on GBPUSD, we have we have uh we have that same type of situation there, but this is different. Okay, because the trend is bearish. The major trend is bearish and the minor trend is bearish. Okay, is bullish. Sorry. So we are heading to this area, and then I take this one like this, and then I look for my weekly candle, previous weekly candle, and then I see that it was rejected. I look for a trend line. So see that GBP is currently on a trend line. Okay, so I'm expecting it to reverse because throughout last week we had sales. Okay, we had more sales. We just had like a day of buy, but we had sales more. Okay, so I'm expecting it to reject from this area that is currently at. Okay, so this is for GBPUSD. Okay, so this is for GBPUSD. Uh, so without further ado, let's take a look at this trend here. Let's take a look at this trend here. Okay, so we'll see that when price came to this trend line, the weekly candle was not able to close as a bearish candle. But though I want us to put something in consideration. Okay, because this candle, this previous weekly candle, that is last 2 weeks, it's closed as a bullish candle too, but we still had more sales last week. Okay, so this week too has done the same thing. So if this is not because we have to pay attention to the higher time frame, because the higher time frame controls the lower time frame. Okay, so something like this, now we have this situation here. So I'm expecting this candle, which is this bearish candle, to form again here, but this time the rejection should be quite more. Okay, so let's head down to the 4 hours time frame to see what's going on. Yeah, so this is the current minor trend at the moment that we are facing. So we have this trend here, but it broke out. We have this trend here, but it broke out. Okay, so we are having that kind of situation here, right? And I don't want to start doing those psychological levels because they're like cloggy and stuff. So this is what I'm expecting for GPUSD. I'm expecting it to buy, okay, but it has to sell first. It has to sell and come down to a support, because we don't sell from resistance unless the resistance has been readed and turned to a support. Okay, so I'm waiting for it to come down to the low of the week, and then I'm going to wait to see buy pattern That means buyers have to be in charge before I start buying. But if we go down to the 1 hour time frame, we see that on GBPUSD, price actually mitigated this trend line. Okay, we have this trend line here. We have this trend line here. Okay, I want to do this on the 4 hours so you can see it very well. It's forming something like an M, okay, but I will not advise that we take it as an M, because when price is not only support and resistance, okay, that price break is not just support and resistance. This is baby support and resistance, okay. It's not just support and resistance that price break, okay. Now price can break a trend, okay. This might be a trend. All right, let me just draw this out so you can. So there's a way that, so this is a trend, uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. Okay, we have uptrend, we have uptrend, uptrend. Okay, we have uptrend situation. Okay, so what happened? Price comes back to clear this whole trend, and what happened? It retest it and started going up. So that is so that's the situation that I'm seeing now on GPUSD. This is for sale. Okay, this is for a sell. But as you can see on the 4 hours time frame, we have a candle that closed above this area here, indicating that buyers are still in this market. But what happened? The market wasn't able to break above this high. Instead, we had a candle that closed, and then we are supposed to expect a drop. Okay, a drop on GPUSD, because if you take a look at price action pays attention to the past. So this is what's currently going on right now on GPUSD. All right, so we have a pullback, and then we have an impulsive movement, and this is a correction now, and then we have an impulsive movement. All right, so this is just a pullback and a correction now before we have this impulsive movement here. Now we have a correctional movement, then this is an impulsive movement. All right, so right now I'm waiting for it to raise this high. It has to raise this high and then create a support below this trend line, okay, around here. Then I would say that, yeah, we can start buying the market. But right now, this is an area for sale, okay. Sellers are very strong with this area right now, because this is resistance, not just any resistance, a resistance on the 4 hours time frame, and on daily time frame we have this resistance too. So first, price has to reach this resistance before we can say, okay, we can start buying GBPUSD majorly. All right, price has to reach this area. What do I mean by price has to read it? Price has to create structures above this area. Okay, now the structures that I'm talking about that price should create is not these structures that uh, newbie traders call higher highs and higher lows. Okay, it's not something like this that I expect this to come and start ranging. So this is called a trend correctional. Okay, it's not your higher highs and your higher lows. Okay, this is a trend type of correctional. Okay, so what will the market do? It will always come back to clear here or clear here at once. All right, so it's always going to do something like that. So for me, I'm expecting it to sell for a bit before it continues buying. But if it starts buying, before I get in for a buy, I have to wait for it to raid this area. All right, this whole area has to be mitigated, and it has to form structures on it. Okay, and to confirm that, okay, we have buyers in the market. So the first 4 hours candle that might form should be like around this area. Okay, so that's it for GBPUSD. Uh okay, so all right, so thank you guys for watching. I think I'm gonna be doing something like this more on Sundays, so that you guys can just, but this is my expectation from GPUSD for this week. If it does not reach this whole area, I'm expecting it to return back here before we start buying. Okay, so this is support on the weekly time frame. And for gold, this is the elephant in the room, so we have to address him separately. Okay, so I'm expecting it to sell down to this area, to this psychological level, and then I'm expecting to see a rejection on this trend line. If I get a rejection on this trend line, something like this, then it shows me that there's presence of buyers, okay, and you wait for confirmation. All right, so that's it. So for my recommended broker, I make use of HFM. I'm going to put that in the description of this video later on, so you can go and check it out. All right, so thank you for watching, and do have a blessed day ahead.